Good morning, all. I think we're ready. We ready? Let's spotlight Elena. She's going to start us off.
Everyone, and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Community Church virtually. We're a welcoming congregation where we strive to transform ourselves and the world through love, wonder, and connection. My name is Elena Brooks Perkins. I use she, her pronouns, and I serve on the worship committee and as chair of the nominating committee. And I'm going to let all the panelists introduce themselves, starting with Daniel.
Hi, this is Daniel. I'm not going to have my camera on for reasons. Anyway, it is nice to be here with you all this morning. I hope everyone is safe and sound and make sure to do proper shoveling techniques of pushing. Do not throw over your shoulder. So yeah, that's words of wisdom from Daniel.
Thank you, Daniel. Michelle.
Good morning, everybody. This is Michelle Matthews, your friendly tech team person for this morning. I use she, her pronouns, and I am looking forward to this great service and glad that you're all here and hope everybody's safe and warm today.
You. Adina.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Adina Danouf here, she, they pronouns, and I'm excited to bring a fun story and be worshiping with you.
Thank you. Jonathan.
Hello, everyone. Jonathan, music director here. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm excited to be here in this virtual space. I was able to go through the archives of all the wonderful videos that the choir and the music folks made during 2020 and 2021 and found some great things to share with you all. So I was joking with the choir the other night that if you see yourself with a different haircut from 3 years ago, it's because it was 3 years ago, or 4 years ago, or 5 years ago. What is time? Um, so, yeah, I think it should really be exciting to see this. So, thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan. And finally, Reverend Sarah.
I am Reverend Sarah. I use she, her pronouns. I'm minister. Um, I am so grateful that y'all are joining us today, and hopefully y'all are staying safe and warm. The process of putting together this service reminded me and the staff so much of what it was like during 2020. And I just want to acknowledge that seeing yourself or just seeing some of what we do here or being reminded of that time, it could be complex. It could be, oh, that's sweet, or it could come with some very upsetting memories. So just be gentle with yourself. We know that this is such an amazing and useful tool, but also we know that that was a really hard time. And we haven't all necessarily done our grief and processing about it because we all moved on so quickly. So just holding you all as we move in to our worship service together. Be well.
Thank you, Sarah. Today's service is about coming together as a community as we witness a historic moment. And how do we see the rhyme of history and not getting stuck living in it again? As a reminder, our play, A Little Piece of Heaven, is rescheduled for next Saturday, January 31st at 7 p.m. Whether you're here for the first time or the thousandth time, welcome. Whatever you are facing in your own life, welcome. This is a place where we try our best to be real with one another, to get through hard things together, and to remind ourselves and one another of the values that ground and center us, that motivate and move us. Whomever you are, whatever your faith journey, whomever you love, you are welcome here. We welcome all who seek to know the sacred and all who seek to make our world more just. Our chalice lighting words are from Reverend Sarah, and our chalice lighting video is a throwback to our pandemic worship. Luckily, we have a lot in the archives. We light our chalice to kindle the light of hope as dark and scary world looms. Come, huddle close, because together we are going to make it through and share this light with the world. Please join in singing our opening hymn, Together Sunday Morning.
We gather here in winter cheer, this special day, this special day. We gather here in winter cheer, together Sunday morning. Our hearts aglow, let love now flow, this special day, this special day. Our hearts aglow, let love now flow, together Sunday morning. Each girl and boy is filled with joy, this special day, this special day. Each girl and boy is filled with joy, together Sunday morning. Now everybody clap your hands, this special day, this special day. Now everybody clap your hands, together Sunday morning. We gather here in winter cheer, this special day, this special day. We gather here in winter cheer, together Sunday morning. Together Sunday morning.
We gather and we have a commitment to be together in covenant, to remind us of what we share with these affirmation words. Please join me in our affirmation of who this community is, beginning with that all-important word. Love is the message of this church, and service is our way. This is our great covenant together, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Please join me now in our time of meditation and prayer. Find a comfortable place for your body, noticing your breathing, finding your center. Take a moment to just be. Allow stillness to settle in. This morning, I share these words from my colleague, Julian Jamaica Soto. I'm going to hold your hand while I say this. You are beloved. You belong where you are safe, where you are witnessed, where you are held. It doesn't matter what they tell you. This is not too much to ask. And if the calamity of these days, their entire disaster weighs heavy on your body, please sit down. Drink a glass of water slowly. Remember that it is from the body of the earth that she holds us, keeps us alive. The toxic breath of carceral state seeks to steal your oxygen, your life. You mustn't ever let it. You must instead be from where you are. Press your feet, if your feet allow, into the ground beneath. If not, just reach out how you must. We must sustain one another now. The longer exhale that tells our bodies that we roll on. We can be that. They cannot take it, though they will try. Hold on. Remember this, the darkness, though it will try, cannot put out the thinnest thread of light. If you can, you must shine. If you cannot, take the hand nearest yours. We move together. We move together. Amen. We'll hold up this afternoon, the morning, I guess, still. Member of First Church in Richmond, Phyllis McCafferty, who was part of the forming of our church all those years ago. So we hold her and her family in the light. Today, in our virtual setting, we will temporarily return to lighting candles of both joy and sorrow, hope and fear. We're using the video that was used throughout the pandemic, so it might be familiar to some of you and you might recognize the hands. But if not, just let it wash over you. While the video plays, we encourage those of you who would like to participate to put your name or candle or stone, just so we know where your spirit is, in the chat. And I'll read the names aloud while the video plays. Go ahead and put your names in the chat. Angela, candle and stone. Allison, concern. Candle and stone for Elizabeth and Kurt. John and Ruthie, our stone. Daniel Miller, candle. Maria, a stone. Sandy, candle and stone. Nicole, a stone. Michelle, a stone. Jackie, a stone. Sandy McGinnis, a stone and a candle. Nicole, a candle. Susan, a stone. A stone and a candle for a friend who lost her mom this week. Dawn, a stone. Mel. Lisa, a stone. Cindy Paris, a candle and a stone. Lisa and Dorothy get a candle and a stone. The Ferguson family will like a candle, please. A candle for the Maroof family. A stone for Diane. A candle for Gail. A stone for Beth. This is a heavy time. I'm glad we are in this together. As we close our time together, I want you to remind you again and again and again that we move forward together. We are here to hold each other. Will you please join in singing our song prayer response? There is a love.
There is a love holding me. There is a love holding all that I love. There is a love holding all. I rest in this love. There is a love holding us. There is a love holding all that we love. There is a love holding all. We rest in this love.
Amen. And hi, everyone. My name is Adina Danuf. Again, I use she or they pronouns, and I am your director of Lifespan Religious Exploration. And today, I have a giant ice cream cone. The scoops, well, there are 10. See, it wobbles lots, and I'm trying my best, but one fell off. And then, okay, I have a giant ice cream cone. The scoops, now there are 9. But I bumped into something and one fell off, and I thought, this is fine. Because I have a giant ice cream cone. The scoops, there still are 8. But a bird swooped by and knocked one off, and I said, well, that was great. But I still have a giant ice cream cone. There are 7 scoops for me. However, I lost another walking under a low branch on that bush over there. Wait, that was a little weird. Okay. I have a giant ice cream cone. The scoops, I still have 6, but lightning struck just the top scoop, and I said, I can't believe this. I still have a giant ice cream cone. I have 5 scoops still here, but then an elephant walked by and knocked one right off with its elephant trunk. Wait, what's happening? Okay, well, back to it, I guess. I have a biggish ice cream cone. The scoops, well, there are 4. But then a bug got stuck in one, and I exclaimed, I can't take this anymore! I still have a biggish ice cream cone. The scoops, there are still 3. And one got suctioned by an ice cream eating robot, and I said, why is this happening to me? I have, well, an ice cream cone. The scoops, I still have 2. But I tripped and one went flying through the air. Really, what's a girl to mentally prepare herself for getting in this highly stressful situation? Huh. Guess that didn't rhyme either. Okay. I have myself an ice cream cone. The scoops, look, there's still one. But I slipped on some ice outside my door and dropped my cone. So I guess that I have none. I used to have an ice cream cone, but the scoops all went away. So I thought to myself and I realized this is more of a milkshake kind of day. Has anyone ever had a day or a time like that where it seems like everything that can go wrong does, or one thing after another doesn't turn out how you thought it would? Times like that can be super tough. I've felt like that a bit lately. And maybe you might have noticed that even the poem was about things not going right. There were also a few times when even the rhymes didn't follow the pattern you might have thought that they would. And that is actually the real lesson for today. Our theme this month is practicing resistance. And one way that we can do that is by noticing patterns and resisting the ones that remind us of patterns that we've seen before that may not have gone so great. Resistance, which means the refusal to accept or do something, is especially important when there are things that go against our values. A lot of times when we go up against big groups or powerful people to speak out for what is right, it can feel like they are knocking down our ice cream cone. It can feel like they always win. So one of the best things we can do to show resistance is to keep showing back up, to keep speaking out, to keep on keeping on, because maybe we've seen these patterns before, personally or in history, and we know that they're not right. This resistance can be for big things like supporting legislation that help people and the earth, or opposing bills or actions that hurt our neighbors, no matter their identities. But it can also be for what feel like they might be smaller things, like supporting our church community when things didn't go how you thought they might, like virtual church on an icy day, or trying to keep going when you lose scoops off your own ice cream cone. For some of us these days, especially our beloveds in the margins, people who go against what's considered the norm by whoever figures out what the norm is, simply existing and being happy are their own forms of resistance. When we keep love at the center with hate sounding so loud around us, that is resistance. So, maybe we can try to find some silver linings when things don't go our way, but we try our best to keep going. We rest when we need to, and we keep our values and our goals in mind to help us remember what's really important. We show up and we support each other. Remember that patterns aren't set in stone. We can change how the story goes together. We can change the rhyme. So maybe instead of freaking out about our ice cream cones falling apart, let's try making some milkshakes together instead. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Adina. Please join me in our offering and acknowledging all the ways we give to this church and this world virtually. We give because this is our church and we value what it does for us, to us, and through us, to our community and our world. May there be an offering to sustain and grow the life and mission of this church, inside and outside our walls. May we give in love and in hope.
We're going to figure this out. No worries. I think we need the music that's on the previous slide. Yeah, push the little. Yep. There we go.
Thank you for your offering and all the ways you give to our life and ministry with your time, talent, treasure, and trust. Together, our gifts allow us to expand and strengthen the tapestry of love, wonder, and connection that blesses this church and transforms us and our world. Our reading is a poem by Bob Hycock. He writes this about his poem. Joni Mitchell's lyric, "I wish I had a river to skate away on," often gets stuck in my head this time of year. I understand avoidance. It's 87% of what I'm made of. But I don't understand why helping each other remains so hard. The title of the poem is The Naivete and Potential Embarrassment of Proposing an Empathy-Shaped Economy While Living in a Case-Shaped Economy isn't lost on me so much as I think it's more important to give an F. That someone looked at the letter K and realized it expressed economic disparity more efficiently than a drawing or a sculpture or interpretive dance of a teeter-totter, with a mountain on one side and a grain of sand. The other makes me want to put a hat on so I can tip my hat in their direction. I'm not sure how an O-shaped economy would work. If money can flow in a circle like a river that never begins and never ends, or if money makes me think that we are stupid or cruel or both, unlikely and uninterested in change, or just too busy getting by to imagine a better way to get by. I think of poverty more in winter, when people die in the cold and we talk a lot about football instead, about this new movie or that old movie that's way better, and don't collectively slap our foreheads while uttering some deeply guttural duh about having all these heated rooms and blankets, and dare I say, love being unused. Where are you on the K? Whether the upsloping limb or downfalling branch sometimes determines how you'll finish these blanks. Capitalism is to blank, as painful surgery is to blank. But I'm losing the thread. The question isn't, dare I say love, but how dare I not?
This has been another one of those weeks, hasn't it? I spent all day yesterday trying to figure out how to say anything today, trying to figure out what message I could give you after another innocent person was murdered, executed in Minneapolis. After a week of my colleagues and other beloveds going to Minneapolis and being part of actions, being arrested, standing out in the cold negative degrees with wind chills in the negative 30s, showing up for justice. I was trying to figure out what to say. And I just don't know. I don't know what to say other than we are seeing history repeat itself, and not just the history that so much of us are thinking of the World War II with Nazis in Germany, but we're talking about slave patrols, we're talking about genocide, we're talking about colonialism, the history that we have built this country on, not we ourselves, but our ancestors, and has so deeply torn this country down the center, ripped families apart for generations and generations and generations. And here we are trying to live through it again and being awake this time and not being willing to sit here to be idle while the world continues to burn. I didn't know what to say, and I still don't know what to say and write a sermon. I chose to use this time to share the words of others who have said it so eloquently. This is a time of grief, a time of love, a time of outrage, and we need to be all in it together. So I'm going to share some words from people who have some different perspectives, and hopefully you will find them as meaningful as I have. This is a post from Peter Anderson in Minneapolis. Today, I was really hoping to be able to relax a bit after a very intense week of organizing the marches, clergy call, and Minnesota Day of Truth and Freedom. Instead, I spent my afternoon on the streets as a movement chaplain, providing spiritual, emotional, and physical care to protesters and mourners at the site of Alex Preddy's murder by a Border Patrol agent. We arrived soon after ICE had left and local enforcement had backed off, leaving the area to protest. Tear gas still wafted faintly in the air, but the threat was currently gone. What did I see at this protest once they were no longer being attacked or impeded by cops and agents? Yes, a very angry community that really, really wants ICE to stop attacking our neighbors, but also a community that immediately started caring for each other on another sub-zero day amidst some very raw emotions. Restaurants and churches opened their doors and supplies to feed people to warm people and to offer a safe place for medics and clergy to care for people. Kind people walking around offering cookies, Samoas, granola bars, fruit snacks, water, whatever they had to nourish others. Tons of neighbors walking around with piles of hand warmers, making sure everyone was safe in the cold. People dedicated to helping others, showing up in their practice roles. Chaplains, medics, legal observers, runners, and more. A free table set out so people could share their supplies with others. A memorial already built around the spot where Alex died, circled by people praying and grieving. So many people checking on the well-being of folks they didn't know and thanking others for being there. A man who just needed a hug and a good cry with one of our chaplains because it was all so overwhelming. Dozens of prayer and grief vigils are planned across the city tonight, he said. This was not a riot. It was not out of control. It was not dangerous. The danger left when ICE left. No, friends, this was a holy site, a thin place, a place where people are trying to love their neighbor, shout against injustice, and use their words and very bodies to not only pray, long for, demand a better world, but to start making that world a reality, one caring interaction and cry and Samoa at a time. Next words are from my colleague Amy Brooks. She wrote this poem for Alex Pretty. Remember when candles were happy? Or maybe it's just me thinking back to birthday cakes and cozy meals and flames flickering over family games on nights when the power went out. Well, the power has gone out. Another light has been extinguished. Another body lies dead in the street. Another official cover-up, another public outcry, another minute of silence, another candle lit in memory, another candle. I'm so weary over crying over candles. Divine spark, the night is cold and I am frightened. Remind me again of the beauty to be found in the warmth of community, in the fire of commitment, in the blazing flame of justice, in the light of the love that burns but does not consume. Guide us all to a time of happier candles. Jackie Summers writes, Field Notes for Cracking an Empire. This is a long one, so buckle in, friends. How to stay alive when the fight arrives at your door. If you've been reading my work for the last few years, she said, none of this should be surprising. The old narratives are gone. This is what fascism looks like in real time. First, ICE agents killed Renee Nicole Good, a white woman, and now they've murdered Alex Jeffrey Pretty, a 37-year-old U.S. citizen, a nurse with no criminal record. White women's bodies were supposed to be sacrosanct. Respectable professionals were supposed to be off limits, and that's no longer the case. For Black people, this country has always been fascist. What's new is who else is inside the blast radius. The Venn diagram of safe and endangered is now a circle. If you're shaken, it's not just grief, it's narrative whiplash. The distance between this can't happen and it just did on camera no longer exists. You have choices. You can either cling to the lie and let someone else keep paying, or pay the cost of updating the story about this country, about who is safe, about what you're willing to do now that predictions and protections are gone. I've said it before. Empire can handle outrage. It has no defense against empathy at scale. Outrage spikes, tends, and fades. Empathy, it can be me, it is already them, changes what people are willing to risk and protect. This is recruitment by atrocity. Your blood spilled red in the streets just like ours. It shouldn't take this. It always has. I'm on record as saying, study Black history to learn how to resist fascism. You will want to take to the streets, and telling people to learn from Black history without a field manual is malpractice. You will be tempted to rush to every protest, to film everything, to provoke cops, to prove you're not like them with your body. We don't need any more martyrs. We need you alive. If you choose to go out, you need more than vibes. You need a plan. This is about maximizing safety and impact, not about looking brave on Instagram. If you're going out, your first job is coming home. Before you leave, pick your role. You're not stuck in just one. The four basic lanes are helpers, people who give personal, individual assistance. Support can be verbal, emotional, physical, or financial. Not everyone can go out. Anyone can be someone to come home to. The second one is advocates, people embedded in the system who can use their knowledge and influence to navigate and reinvent from within. Third is organizers, visionaries who see the big picture and bring resources and talents together. And the fourth is rebels, indomitable spirits who bring passion and energy, audacious risk takers willing to bear the brunt of criticism. You're not consigned to a single role for life. Today, pick one where intent can become impact. Street side roles are marcher, medic, legal observer, marshal. Home side roles are childcare, food, bail funds, phones, amplifying, watching scanners, and news. Not everyone needs to be in front of a rifle. No solo missions. Go with a pod of 2 to 5 people. Decide ahead of time who you stick with, who your emergency contact is, where you'll meet up if separated. No one leaves alone. If one person needs to tap out, at least one person goes with them. Make sure you have your ID. Be prepared to record. Don't leave home without a full charge and a battery pack. Use a strong password. No Face ID or fingerprint. Have some card, one card and some cash, not your whole wallet. Do not forget any meds that you truly can't miss. Write essential information on your skin with Sharpie in case your phone dies. Include your name, your phone number, and the name and phone number of your emergency contact. If you have local legal aid or bail fund numbers, include that as well. Decide if you're willing to face lawful arrest before adrenaline kicks in. If police say disperse, are you leaving? And if not, are you adequately prepared? Don't let panic make the call. Know your line and your rights ahead of time. Move like you're planning to come back tomorrow. Stay on the edges of dense crowds. Always clock a landmark and at least 2 exit routes. If you can or can't see or hear organizers or marshals, rethink where you are. If you record ICE, do it clean. Stand back. Don't cross lines or interfere. Say calmly, I am recording for everyone's safety. I am not interfering. Capture time, place, badge numbers, and what led up to the moment, not just the hit. Let someone you trust know before you start recording. Send important clips to a trusted person immediately so they exist off your phone. De-escalate. Don't cosplay the hero. Chant, sing, hold signs, stand, kneel, visible but not threatening. No taunts, no getting in faces, no throwing anything. If an order is lawful and clear, like move to the sidewalk, this assembly is unlawful, disperse, obey while documenting. White folks, your job is not to reenact Selma on TikTok. Reduce risks through strength in numbers. When you come home, care for the body that carried you. Eat, hydrate, shower, sleep, cry if you can. Your nervous system is not a machine. Treat it like someone you love. Debrief with your pod. Ask what felt dangerous, what worked. What would we do differently next time? Listening to that is future safety. Move the evidence where it matters. Share key footage with trusted organizers, legal groups, and reputable journalists. Do not rely on the algorithm. It is not your friend. Yes, take to the streets. Just don't stay there. Protests are the spark, not the whole fire. Show up for council meetings, oversight boards, union drives, mutual aid, elections and recalls, policy fights that outlive the headline. Most of all, show up for each other. Outrage without structure creates burnout. Empathy with practice builds power. We don't need more martyrs. We need people alive, trained, connected, and stubborn enough to keep showing up. If you're newly afraid because you see yourself in Renee or Alex or anyone else, don't bring your guilt. Bring your courage. Bring your empathy. Bring your willingness to learn from people who've been living this fire for generations. Stand in harm's way before harm harms anyone else. Study Black history. Our grief, this is the author, their grief, our joy, how we organized. Study our resilience and our refusal to be victims. Then decide, what can you sustainably give? What you absolutely will not tolerate, and how you're going to protect yourself while you help change the world. If you go out, your first job is coming home. If you're staying home, your first job is staying human. Either way, we're going to need you for the long haul. As I close out these words this time, I'm going to share from a colleague at the UU Fellowship of Fox Valley in Appleton, Wisconsin. They are living in some of the coldest places in the US. This is how they've closed their worship every Sunday for the last month. It might be cold outside, but deep in the earth, fire is burning. Deep in the earth, everything that once seemed solid is now chaotic, liquid, and infinitely possible. Deep in our hearts, we're forging a new way. We're forging freedom, taking all of the scraps and leftovers and the ways that we've always done it and melting them down with the fires of love. We're forging freedom, shaping what was into what could be together. We're lighting fires in our hearts strong enough to melt every cage that's stealing our humanity. We're forging freedom together. We are forging freedom together because we have no other choice. There's a fire burning. Let us use it to make change. That's what I say. Those are my actual words this time. I don't know what this world needs more than us being empathetic, community-minded, beloved humans who will do what we must to keep each other safe. Every time I hear someone saying, wow, they're so organized, they're so on top of things in Minnesota, in Minneapolis, it reminds me they've been working on this for years. They've been building these networks for decades and using them for at least the last 5 or 6 years. So what do we need to do? We need to build our networks. We need to know our neighbors. We need to care for them when things are hard, if it's be a snowstorm, an ice storm, or if it be the ice cars coming through our neighborhoods. We need to hold each other and support each other through all of this. We need to care for our community, the larger community, our church community as best we can. We move forward together. We move forward together. Will you sing with me, friends? This is the song that I think I need to hear right now. And I need you to sing it as loud as you can in your space so that I can hear you from here, way down in Chesterfield. Okay? Will you sing Though I May Speak with Bravest Fire with me and our beloveds on the recording? Thank you.
Though I may speak with bravest fire, and have the gift to all inspire, and have not love, my words are vain, as sounding brass and hopeless gain. Though I may give all I possess, and striving so my love profess, but not begin my love within, the prophet soon turns strangely thin. For spirit calm, our hearts control, our spirits long to be made whole. Let inward love guide every deed. By this we worship and are free.
Let us reach out to one another. I know you can't reach and hold a hand unless you're sitting by your loved one. And if you are, hold their hand. And if you're not, reach maybe to the screen, maybe your heart, just reach it open, or your spirit out to those who love you. When you go from this place, go together and come back alive. When you go from this place, know that you are loved and beloved. So when you go, go in peace. Salam and shalom. Leave this place knowing that you are good and knowing that you are loved. Blessed be. And take your dark and your light and your love from this place and share them with the world. And stay safe until we meet again. Amen. And we don't have a coffee hour time planned for you all. If you want, you can put in the chat comments to each other. If you are looking for support or need some care, you can go on to our Friends of UUCC page, and there should be a thread for how you're faring with the storm, and anyone can start any thread they'd like for sharing information about all kinds of things, including we have several threads on how to tell Hanover government we do not want an ICE headquarters in Hanover. So please do what you can, call your representatives, be where you can be, stay safe, and we love you. Amen. Be well.